In Surat Kehef, we have been told to recite the first 10 ayat and last 10 ayat of Surat Kehef frequently. What is the reason and the importance?
The reason has been told by Rasulullah himself.
Yes, and the importance.
Don't you?
No, it's about the praise of God in the last verses, you know.
No, but don't you know the reason why which has been put forward by Rasulullah himself?
Yeah, it's about the Dajjal and the...
So
could you explain?
Why did you become Gola and say you don't know?
No, I mean you can explain better.
Yes, please.
What advice would you have for women who find themselves...
Do you think this question has been cancelled? It has not been cancelled so far. So you better wait for your turn. The question is, what is the significance of the first 10 verses of Surah Kehef and the last 10 verses of Surah Kehef, and what bearing do these verses have upon the Dajjal? Now this requires a very long answer in fact, but I discussed this at quite some length during my visit to Denmark. In Stockholm, this question was raised by someone, and there was a gathering of distinguished guests. So I explained that at quite some length. I think that cassette would be available somewhere. But anyway, I'll try to be brief here. I can't go into all the details. But briefly speaking, the first 10 verses contain a very positive and clear reference to first those Christians who have started calling partner with Allah, and they claim that Allah has a son. It has been mentioned. And then it changes. This is the beginning of the end, in fact. Then it changes to the second phase of Christianity, where despite the fact that the destruction or deterioration had started quite early, from the time of St. Paul, let's say, though St. Paul is not mentioned. But Surah Kehef tells us that this deterioration or the trend in deterioration had set in quite early in the history of Christianity. But still, there was a strong community among the Christians who stuck to unity of Allah. And they were so staunch, so devout, that they could sacrifice everything for the sake of unity of Allah. Those were the Christians on whom Allah showed blessings, and because of whom later on Christianity spread to the whole world. And they gained this temporal power, which they gained later on, not because of those who had started calling partners with Allah, but because of those who remained steadfast under heavy odds and very terrifying trials. That trial is now described after this. It says, not only that. That last verse I recite, where it begins, Am hasibta anna ashab al-kahfi wal-raqim kanu min ayatina ajaba iz awal fityatu ila al-kahfi wa qalu rabbana atina min ladunka rahmatan wa hayyi lana min amrina rashada. It says, Am hasibta anna ashab al-kahfi wal-raqim kanu min ayatina ajaba. Do you believe that these people of the cave were a strange phenomena, extraordinary phenomena, and were not out of this world, but they were something strange, a bizarre phenomena, exceptional to the normal happenings, which means it was not a bizarre phenomena, but its uniqueness lay in another direction. Is our fiqh to ilal kafi? Their greatness and uniqueness lay in this, that they left the surface of the earth and decided to go into the cave for the sake of one Allah, whose unity they wanted to preserve. Despite the fact that, as earlier verses tell, the surface of the earth is blessed by Allah with charms, and they leave all those charms for the sake of Allah and go underneath, go underground, because they wanted to save their faith and their religion and their love of their Creator. They are the people for whose sake blessings would be shown to all those who adhere to Christianity. Whether they are right or wrong, that is insignificant. When Allah blesses the people, then He doesn't choose just the pious ones for showing blessings. For the sake of a few pious, the entire people are blessed. Later on, in the end, now this shows the religion of Dajjal, because Rasulullah said, to save yourself from to save yourself from the influence of Dajjal. I don't remember exactly what is the word used, influence or from injury or what. But let's, in general terms, I'm not exactly translating the definition. But what in essence it says, that if you want to be aware of Dajjal and to know who he is and to save yourself from the injury, spiritual or otherwise, or to recognize him, all these things are conveyed in this. Then you should recite the first 10 and the last 10 verses of the Surat Kehef. So the first 10 tell us that Dajjal belongs to Christianity and the distorted form of Christianity. This is the nature of Dajjal's religion. In the end, it has a reference to the great progress, great material progress of Christians. So to recognize them through another means, another indicator has been thrown. From religion, this finger points to Christianity. And in the end it says, أَفَحَسِبَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنْ يَتَّخِذُوا عِبَادِي مِنْ دُونِي أَوْلِيَاءَ إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا جَهَنَّمَ لِلْكَافِرِينَ نُزُلًا. يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا قُلْ هَلْ نُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِالْأَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا الَّذِينَ ضَلَّتْ أَعْيُنُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ. Yes. أَفَحَسِبَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا يَتَّخِذُوا عِبَادِي مِنْ دُونِي أَوْلِيَاءَ إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا جَهَنَّمَ لِلْكَافِرِينَ نُزُلًا قُلْ هَلْ نُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِالْأَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا الَّذِينَ ضَلَّ سَعْيُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا. The first verse again refers to the same Christianity with which the opening verses of the Holy Quran introduced us. But here it is not just one partner they are calling out. There are myriads of saints they are calling besides others. So one deviating step ended into this utter destruction of faith. Previously they called just one son as partner with Allah, and when Christianity deteriorated further, it was not just one son. There were thousands and thousands of saints. أَفَحَسِبَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنْ يَتَّخِذُوا عِبَادِي مِنْ دُونِي أَوْلِيَاءَ, not abdans. Many servants of Allah are now being worshipped by Christians in the name of saints. But as far as their material progress is concerned, they have reached a stage where they believe that they are master of technology. Sunnah is technology. And Sunnah is also the end product of science. If technology was not to be the end product of science, people would leave interest in science. It is the material gain of science which is keeping the world interested in scientific studies, and it is the technology, high technology, which is actually the means of material gains, not science in itself. So nowadays a debate is raging between scientists and the technologists, and some third world countries say there is no need for science, spending so much money, while what actually you require is technology. So Allah does not mention science here. That is the beauty of the Holy Quran. It only mentions the end product in which the materialistic world would be interested. The technology, they say, we have developed so strongly and so beautifully that we have reached the height of excellence. Then Allah tells us that this will not be of any avail to them and they are going to be totally destroyed. So there are so many things to it. As I told you, in brief I will explain its relationship with Dajjal. Both these aspects are of the same people, which is the Christian world or the Western world. They have highly developed technology and they have highly distorted religion. So one eye is bright and the other is blind. This is why Hazrat Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Dajjal has one eye blind, which is right, and the one eye blind, very prominent, and that is the left. This is exactly what the Holy Quran says. So when the Ahl Hadith try to persuade me that there is no validity of traditions, I tell them you don't understand. Every tradition of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam has its roots in the Holy Quran. So has this one-eyed Dajjal its roots in this Surah Kehef. From the point of view of religion, this Surah Kehef describes them to be totally blind. And from the point of view of technology and scientific achievements, they can see things which the other people are completely incapable of seeing. Now the lady, please.